Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the weekly strategy session for the week of August 11. I hope you are all doing well and you guys all have had a wonderful week and weekend. So we'll get started shortly. Just checking out a few things here, then we can get started right away. Weekend. So we'll get started shortly. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and tap the notification bell so that any live streams or updates are going to be notified in your inbox. Also, if you can type in where you are tuning in from today, that'll be appreciated. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm here in Canada right now, so you can type in where you are tuning in from in the chat, in the live chat. Let's see where you are tuning in from. All right, so let's get started. So my name is Richard J with Trading Rich, and I'm looking forward to tonight's weekly game plan. I have a lot of exciting exciting things to share here today, and I hope you guys are ready for the live stream today. So I'll share my screen right away and then we can get started here. I do have a few things here. Let's just get this here. So last week was a very interesting week here in the markets. The market started with a rally on Monday, and then he moved on to get a red day. So it was going red, green, green, and then finally topped off on Friday. On Friday we had a green day, a solid green day, and the Nasdaq touched all-time highs, and the S&P is yet to go to all-time highs. So this week here, there's a number of catalysts that we have for this week, and it's going to be an interesting one in a sense that we have CPI and we have PPI coming up this week, and those can move the market in one direction or the other. So currently, on Monday, we don't have anything on the economic calendar here, as you can see here, and and we have this here as so on Monday we have the nothing scheduled here, no catalyst that is going to move the market. On Tuesday is what we are waiting for. Tuesday is going to be CPI, Consumer Price Index. That's what tracks inflation. And currently, the median forecast is 3.1%. And then the previous number was 2.9. So if this number comes in and it's higher than what is expected, we surely going to get the market to sell off with that, because any increase in inflation now is going to cause the Fed to not cut interest rates anytime soon, and that's not going to be good for the market in terms of it's going to have a negative impact on the market and it's going to cause it to sell. However, if this inflation number comes in good, like it comes in below 3.1%, then we'll most likely get more rally to the upside, meaning that, okay, inflation is coming down and then that is going to give the Fed some kind of reassurance that inflation is truly coming down, and they can go ahead and cut interest rates. So the market is priced in for a rate cut in the month of September here. That is still in the air. That is still in the air. But I believe that based on what we've seen so far in the labor market, the Fed will go ahead and cut interest rate pretty soon here, and that's going to happen as early as September. Okay, so yeah, so Tuesday on Tuesday we have the consumer choice. We have the CPI, and then we have Wednesday we have just Fed speaker speaking, and then on Thursday we have initial jobless claims, and then PPI inflation data. So usually what the PPI CPI does is going to give us a clear hint on what the PPI is going to do. It's just it's like directly proportional kind of thing, right? Usually if the CPI is better than expected, most likely the PPI is going to be the same thing as well. And then we have the Thursday is where we are going to get the most important data, which is the jobs numbers, right? Because the jobs numbers has been one of the critical areas where economics and market watchers have been looking so far. And the forecast is 229,000 jobless claims, initial jobless claims. If this number comes in higher than expected, then most likely the market is going to get like some kind of a sell-off, because like that will bring some fear in the market that hey, the labor market is cracking, and that is going to bring back the recession fears. So any number, anytime we go to 250,000 and beyond, that's going to be a yellow flag, meaning that okay, recession can be coming anytime soon. So that is going to cause some scare in the market, right? Because right now 229,000 is not bad. It's just an okay number. But once we get into 250,000 and then 300,000 a week, that is recession levels, right? So we shall watch that closely. So right now, the only thing that is holding up the US market is the labor market, which has been very strong. So we shall see how that holds up. So any number above this number here, 229, is going to have a negative impact on the market. Then on Friday, generally, we are going to have most of these ones are not really big market moving events. News. The only one that might move the market in one direction or the other is consumer sentiment, and that's something that we are going to watch closely for those that are day traders. But otherwise, the key catalyst for the week is CPI, PPI, and initial jobless claims. Okay. All right. So last week we had a number of earnings. So we had some earnings last week for certain stocks. We had stocks like AppLovin. We had a whole host of companies to posting their earnings. But this week we have just some small companies posting their earnings, which is not going to be significant for the market, right? But those companies are going to be the investors of those companies are going to watch them closely. So this week, what I'm looking for is that I'll go into the charts right now and show you guys what I'm looking at for the week here. The market is at a crossroads at the moment, and we are looking to see if the bulls can continue the momentum, right? The momentum that they've had so far. So far, what we see here is that we have seen we have seen the market push up again, and we are getting to new all-time highs again. And this is going to so this week here can be a make or break week to let us know whether we are going to go back to new all-time highs, or are we going to get a rug pull, right? So at this point in time, we don't know what's going to happen, but based on this setup here, is favoring the bulls, and we shall see what the bulls do this week. And all eyes is going to be on the CPI and PPI data, like the inflation data. Okay. So right now, what I'm looking at here is this is the chart of the S&P 500 ETF, that's SPY. So if you go to the weekly chart here, what we see here is that I'll take off the lines for now. I'll take off the lines for now, and then we can analyze it without checking the lines. So right now we have here, so we had this is the April lows, and the market has rallied all the way now. We are close to all-time highs. We are just 1 point away to all-time highs. So the question for this week is that this week's trading sessions is the market going to go higher than all-time highs, or is it going to retreat and sell from there? So based on what I see here, we have here from a technical standpoint, we have this trend line here. So this trend line is an upsloping trend line, and this is from 2021. Yeah, 2021 highs, the market highs. If you extend it to 2024 December, this is 2024 December here. This, and you extend it here, we come to the all-time highs, right? The current all-time highs. So what I'm going to be watching this week is that if price comes all the way here to the previous all-time highs, are we going to get a breakout to the upside and push up, or are we going to get what in technical analysis is called a double top? So a double top is a bearish reversal pattern. So you have here one top, that is basically price has come to that level twice, right? And then over there, you are going to get, it hits like a ceiling, right? It's just like you're in the building, the ceiling of the building is like a resistance, and it has hit that level. And the fact that it has tested that price twice, what can happen is that it can do two things, right? So this red line here, it can do two things. It can either go to the upside and break up, or it can just retrace and come back down, right? Come back down. So these are the two things that the market can do. Before this live stream, I checked the futures market. The futures market is was showing green, and a small green. We shall see if that green holds into Monday. I believe that on Monday we are going to get something like a small green or red consolidation day, and then from there, once the CPI number comes, and the market digests it and sees whether it's a good number. If it's a good number, then the market is going to rally. If it's a bad number, we are going to get that kind of a sell. So that's mainly what I'm looking at to see here for SPY. Okay. So for SPY, right now, we just have to wait and see what happens with the CPI. That's going to give us the clear direction whether we are going to go up further. This rally is going to continue, or we are going to retrace a bit and then figure out what to do next. Okay. So the next one is QQQ. So QQQ has been leading the market. Like that's the tech heavy NASDAQ ETF QQQ that has been leading the market, was leading the market last week. So those of you who are part of our day trading service, we traded a lot of tech stocks and QQQ, the ETF as well, and also the NQ futures. So as you can see here, we can see that QQQ has made a new all-time highs here as of Friday. And what I'm watching for QQQ for a bigger picture idea or a long-term idea is that if you come to the weekly chart here on QQQ, you will see that QQQ is showing this pattern here. So this pattern, I call this pattern the megaphone pattern. So it looks like you have a megaphone and you're talking, right? The megaphone pattern, right? So typically in technical analysis, these type of megaphone patterns are usually bearish in nature, right? So price comes down here, it bounces, it goes up, and then once it hits the top here, it looks to sell, right? So we shall see what happens. Also, when you look at this all-time highs here, this is the all-time high number here, which is 576.36. This here coincides with this trend line. So there's a trend line here that touches this high of this day, high of this week, and then this other high, and then here. And this crosses an intersection, right? So here, in order for us to break above this trend line, we need a very intensive move, right, to the upside. And then once we get that intensive move, I believe that if CPI comes in good, we can break out and then go and touch this area. So this is where I think that we might, like, the market can look to get some kind of a pullback or some kind of correction into the downside, right? But right now it's teetering in this area. Is this an area where it's like a red line, where red line for the bulls and the bears? The bulls are in control right now, and the bears want to take back control, right, from what they did the previous week. So now we shall see how it works out this week. If we're able to break above this, then definitely the next target is this area here, which is around, if you look at it, it's going to be estimated around 595, right? 595, which is about 20 points from here, right? About 20 points from here, give or take, right? So that's going to take a while. That's going to take some time for it to get there. It's not going to just get there overnight, right? It's going to take some time to get there. So we shall see how this plays out this week. But for now, going into the week, I'm a technical analysis trader, so I look at it from a standpoint of whichever one triggers first, we shall take the trade and push forward. So if on Monday morning I realize that the QQQ is trading above this level here, we are going to look to go long, and then we are going to go higher from here. But if I realize that it's trading below here, and then we have some red candles to the downside, we are going to look to short this and target this area. So we target first the moving averages before we come here. So we shall see how this plays out during the week. But the most important thing is that the market will be waiting for the CPI and the jobless numbers claims. So I'll not be surprised if we get like some kind of consolidation move. Consolidation meaning that you're having sideways trade where the market is not rallying, it's just trading within a certain zone and waiting on news. So once the news comes in and is good and the catalyst is good, then boom, it goes up to the upside, right? So that's the QQQ, right? Another one that I also watching is the IWM. IWM is the small caps. So the small caps have been, like, we have the SPY, which has hit all-time high from Liberation Day tariff sell-off. We have the QQQ that has already hit all-time highs. The IWM is the only index that's a small cap index, Russell 2000, which is lagging behind. It's struggling big time because if you look at it, it's nowhere near all-time highs, right? And it struggled to break out above this trend line here. So we shall see how things play out this week. If it gets some momentum to the upside and push things up. But I think that the small caps will come to life maybe sometime in September once interest rate is cut, because most of the companies in the Russell 2000, some of them are not profitable. They are loss-making companies and they have a lot of debt. And once they start cutting interest rates, it's going to cause these companies to gain enough like cash on the sideline that it could help the stocks rally, right? So for now, the IWM, I call the IWM the real economy, right? Because if you look at the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, it's only a few stocks that is moving the market. Most of the other ones are struggling, right? So, but when you come to the Russell, you're going to see companies that like, you don't have the Apples of this world there. You don't have the Microsoft. You don't have them in the Russell 2000. You have more or less like small companies that are not profitable and are looking to increase their market share and all that good stuff. So here we shall see how this plays out. So for IWM, I'm going to be watching this trend line closely. If we're able to gap up above this trend line, then we have a chance for it to push to 230, right? So 230 is also another area of resistance here, because you see here, the last time price came here, it sold off. So if price is able to gap up above this, then it can have some kind of a shot to this area. Then once we get to 230, the sky is the limit. It can push forward from there and try to see if it can make new all-time highs. But for now, the IWM is struggling, right? And we shall see how things work out in in the days and weeks ahead here. Okay. So the next one that I want to watch is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, crypto market is really on fire right now. And I'm going to be let me check out the chart for Bitcoin and see how Bitcoin is doing. So Bitcoin is, I'll switch to Bitcoin right away here. So this is, I go to the crypto and I go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Where is that right now? And then we can analyze it together. Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitcoin. All-time chart. Waiting for this to load up. So here I have Bitcoin all-time charts loading here. Let's see what this. Oh no, this is not what I was looking for. Um, let's check out the Bitcoin chart here. It's not what I'm looking for. So Bitcoin is, let's see, let's use this Binance one. Okay, so Bitcoin has been like, Bitcoin made, all-time highs here at 123. So it went up and it came down. So Bitcoin, what I see here is that Bitcoin is looking like it's bull flagging. Bull flag is a technical term that we use in technical analysis. Is bull flagging to break out. So if Bitcoin is able to break out above the all-time highs, then it's going to make new all-time highs. So I see Bitcoin going to 130,000 sometime soon. Once we break above this 123 level, Bitcoin is going to push to 130,000 pretty soon, right? So Bitcoin is looking still bullish. It's looking bullish. This is the weekly chart. Let me go to the daily to see what's happening here. So here with Bitcoin, Bitcoin looks like it's looking to break out here. So you see that it came all the way here, and then we have this level here. This level is at that was 119,000, right? So if it's able to break above this and crack through the previous all-time highs, then Bitcoin has legs to go to as high as 130,000 or 135. Okay. One crypto that I'm watching closely this week is Ethereum. Because I mean, Bitcoin, we know Bitcoin has done all the moves already. So now I believe it's time for Ethereum to take on the torch from Bitcoin and do its thing. So one crypto that I'm watching this week is Ethereum. So I believe Ethereum has ability to get to all-time highs. The previous all-time highs was in 2021. I believe it was in 4,800. And Ethereum looks like it wants to go back and test the all-time high and make new all-time highs. So let's analyze the chart of Ethereum here. So Ethereum is something that is really looking, it really looks looking so those in our mastermind group, I already mentioned to you guys that Ethereum was about to break out, and we've already gotten that breakout. So in technical analysis, right? So here's the all-time high. The all-time high is 4,800, and this is 4,113. Okay. So here, this is technically, so this is a weekly chart. I want to condense it. I put in a weekly chart. In technical analysis, this is called a confirmed breakout. Okay. So this here is what is called a flagpole. So from here to here is a flagpole, right? And then we got that break here. So we got this break here over here. This is the flag, right? This was a flag. So this consolidation period was the flag. This consolidation period was a flag. So we saw that. So we saw that we had a green and then red, it came back down. And then what happened? We had this bullish engulfing candle that wiped out the red. So this is a confirmation of a clear breakout. So anytime you have anything, like whether it's a stock or crypto, whatever you're trading, whether it's Forex, I don't care what it is, if it is, if you have a weekly level, like a weekly key resistance level, and we break through that level, it leads to what is called, what I call a weekly squeeze, right? And weekly squeezes can last for several weeks, sometimes months, sometimes days. So over here, Ethereum, based on how it's trading right now, and based on this breakout confirmation, is poised to go to all-time highs and make new all-time highs. Okay. So I believe that by the end of the week here, we are going to get news that Ethereum has gone back to all-time highs, has made new all-time highs, which is going to be a big milestone. Okay, a big milestone, because the buy and hold guys who have been holding Ethereum, they've been holding Ethereum since November 8th, 2021, since it made its all-time highs, right? That was around 4,800-ish, right? Close to 4,900. So they've been holding and they've gone through all this decline, right? And then finally, Ethereum is here. Okay, so I believe that this is the time for Ethereum to shine. And in the crypto market, the crypto market is now into alt season, altcoin season. So I believe that that's going to favor Ethereum as well, and we are going to get that breakout to the upside. Okay, so in terms of so after once Ethereum gets to all-time highs, how far can Ethereum go? I believe Ethereum can go to as high as 6,000. So if you look at this, if you extend this trend line here, this one goes from this is a pivot low here from January 2022 in the bear market, July 2021. If you extend it, it touches here, which is March 2024. This should bring you to somewhere here. This rally goes up, this should bring you to somewhere here. So give or take, I think Ethereum can come all the way to 5,000, 5,500 or even more, right? That's an area where it can come back. I think that once the breakout stamp, we break out from the all-time highs, Ethereum can go to 6,000 or more. So Ethereum is a must watch for crypto folks. And then also those in the stock market, we are going to look to leverage the rally of Ethereum to make money from it. So there are two ways to approach this. You can either go into the crypto market on Binance or Coinbase or crypto.com to buy Ethereum and trade it and capture the move to the upside. Okay. Or what you can do is that you can use um, stocks like Coinbase that is a crypto exchange that buys and sells Ethereum, and then you can use that to track Ethereum, because anytime Ethereum and Bitcoin is going up, uh, um, stocks like Coinbase are also going to go up as well. Okay, so let's go to the charts and go to some stocks that I'm watching for this week. Now that we've gone through all the key stocks, also I'm watching this week. So for this week, one of my main stocks that I'm watching for this week is number one is number one stock is so if Ethereum continues the rally, okay, one stock that I'm watching is Bitmine. So Bitmine is a stock that we traded in the day trading service. We traded this on Friday. It was outstanding trade. It just went nuts. It just went crazy, right? So here, this one stock that I'm watching. The reason why I'm watching this stock is I'll give you a history about this stock. So Bitmine is a company that is currently headed by um an investor called Tom Lee, right? So Tom Lee shows up on CNBC a lot, and he's one of the guys who is really liked by retail traders and investors. So Tom Lee is the chairman of this company now. So this company initially they used to buy Bitcoin and stuff, but when Tom Lee took over in 1 month, it transformed the company into a company that is going to focus solely on Ethereum. And right now, Bitmine is the world's leading um, holder of Ethereum. So it serves like what is called an Ethereum treasury, right? So if you look at a stock like MicroStrategy with Michael Saylor, Michael Saylor uses all the company money. MicroStrategy is a software company, but since Michael Saylor gone into Bitcoin, the company is not even, I don't even know whether they're even doing their software thing anymore. They are only focusing on Bitcoin. So basically, they are buying any profits that they have in the company, they're using it to buy Bitcoin, right? So MicroStrategy has turned into a Bitcoin leverage ETF, right? Basically, what it does is that anytime Bitcoin goes up, MicroStrategy goes up. So here, for the first time, we have another stock that is solely tracking Ethereum, right? ETH, right? So Bitmain is the world's leading holder of Ethereum in the world right now, right? So what it means is that anytime Ethereum price goes up, so let's say Ethereum goes to all-time high, you bet that Bitmain is also going to rally significantly, right? So if you look at the technical chart, so at Trading Rich, what we focus on is that we focus on the technicals, right? We don't do sentiments on Reddit and all that stuff. We don't no BS. We don't do that kind of thing, right? We look at the technicals, right? What does the technical tell us? If the technical says, okay, we are setting up for a rally, we trade to the upside. If the technicals is telling us that we are setting up for a sell, we short the stock or ETF or whatever we are trading to the downside, right? So that's what we are focusing on. So here, for those that have taken our boot camps and courses, there's something called consolidation in when it comes to technical analysis, right? So if you look at this stock here, right, this stock has been consolidating for. So I'm going to a weekly chart to make it easy to count. So here, 1, 2, 3, right, 3 weeks, right? This has been consolidating, and if you go to the daily, this has been consolidating for many days, right? So 15 days. For 15 days, this has been consolidating. And now finally, we broke out of that consolidation jam. Okay. So in technical analysis, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the move of the stock. Okay. So here we can see here that finally on Friday, we got that breakout starting. It's not done yet, right? We need a confirmed breakout. A confirmed breakout is that if we break above this trend line here, right? If we break above this trend line tomorrow, and I believe that tomorrow this stock is not going to be trading at $52. Trust me, it is going to be, it could be trading at 55, 56, or even $60. You never know, because there's a lot of retail that are chasing this stock. So we can get a short squeeze in a flash for this stock on Monday, right? So this is going to be one of my main watch for Monday for day trading here. So this year, on Monday, if we gap up above this level, this trend line, this downsloping trend line, right? We are going to get a rally to the upside. We are going to look to get call options. We are going to target so this green line is your gap entry. So this is your gap. This is a gap here. So this is your gap entry as first profit target. Second profit target will be this weekly level 63.92. And then here, this is going to be the gap fill, right? And then anything above that is just like we just take it. But here we have this big engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle. So once this cracks this area, this has full steam ahead. This could be go back to all-time high in no time. So have this on your radar, have this on your. So if you hear Ethereum has gone up to all-time highs, note that you bet that this will also go up, rally significant, right? So again, I did research on this. The investors that are holding, are backing this company are really significant, right? So one of them is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is one of the initial investors in the company called Palantir. Palantir, right? He was one of the early investors in Palantir, right? And he has invested millions of dollars to this company, right? And then Tom Lee is also their chairman, and the legendary Patty Wood, Patty Woods is also invested in this. I think she put in 140 million into this company. So they gave the invested in it in exchange for Ethereum kind of thing. So she's invested in, and also the legendary Wall Street investor. Stanley Druckenmiller has also invested in this company as well. So there's a lot of big names who are invested in this. And I believe that once Ethereum's price goes up, this company is going to do well, is going to rally. So we want to be there and catch the wave and catch the move to the upside. Okay. So that is BNR, BMNR. So BMNR is going to be my main watch for this week here as we get into the into the week here, as we see as Ethereum rallies, right? So yeah, so that's one of them that I'm going to be watching in case Ethereum goes up. And if Ethereum sells up, definitely this one is also going to sell off as well. But I like the setup here. I think this is setting up for a breakout here. And this has legs. This could be, by the end of the week, we could see this at $75 or more, right? So I don't want you guys to miss out on this. I want you guys to get this information, and then you can execute on it accordingly, okay? All right. So another Ethereum stock that I'm also watching is that, so this is the main one. This is the number one, right? So number two is another company called SBET. SBET, right? So SBET is looking to compete with this company, but Bitmain has more Ethereum than SBET, right? But SBET, I really like the setup. I really like this setup here for SBET. So SBET is a company that also has, they buy a lot of Ethereum. So basically what they do is that they use some of their profits and stuff to invest in Ethereum. Okay. So it's classified as an Ethereum treasury company, right? So this company has earnings on Friday. I don't think, like, based on this setup here, there's more risk to, like, the downside risk is very low. The upside risk is in terms of risk to reward, the upside is better, right? This is setting up for a breakout. So I'll go here and show you guys something. I'll show you something here. Let me see if I can find this. See if I can find this on my chart. Let me see if I can see this on the chart, just for illustration purposes. Cup and handle pattern. Cup and handle pattern. Okay. Okay. So over here we have this here. I just want to show you guys this just to compare something. So this is, picture this, right? Take a screenshot of it. So this is cup and handle pattern. Okay. Cup and handle pattern. So just visualize this. And then when we come here, let me take off the lines to make it easy. Oops. Let me take off the lines. So we see here that we are forming something similar to what we saw in that picture. Okay. So in technical analysis, you should be able to identify patterns, right? Pattern recognition. Okay. So this is putting in, so here, this gap here, you can fill it, fill the gap, right? Fill the gap in your mind, just fill it. And then here, this becomes, we get this your cap here, this your handle here, and this looks for a breakout. So this stock here, okay, this stock is setting up for a big breakout. Okay, this stock is setting up for a big breakout. So once Ethereum goes up and gets to all-time highs and keeps on rallying, this stock is going to do wonders, right? And so if you don't own a Bitmain, like if you want to track, if you don't have Ethereum, the cryptocurrency itself, you can buy Bitmain and use it to track Ethereum, right? In your portfolio, you can buy the shares. And also, alternatively, you can get SBET as well as an alternative, right? So here, I'm expecting this to break out. So if we break above this $25 level, I expect us to come and crack this neckline. So this is the neckline of the cap and handle. So if you look at this is the neckline, this is the cap, this is your handle, okay? So here, we are seeing exactly the same thing. This is our neckline, this is the cap, this is our handle, right? So I'm expecting this to break out from here. Okay. So here, what I'm looking at is so in technical analysis, something called the measured move. Okay. You can use that to determine how far this can come to, right? How far, if the rally comes up, how far. So you measure the neckline, the top of the neckline to the bottom of the cup. You move it here and put it here in the neckline. So where the handle is going to be formed. So if you put it here, you are going to see that this stock has room to come all the way to $70 using the measured move, right? So that's the measured move there. So if at some point you see SBET at $70, you should not be shocked. And you by that time, we shall see Ethereum trading at new all-time highs, maybe 5,000, 6,000, thereabout, right? So I just wanted to flag this. So anybody that wants to catch the Ethereum rally and momentum, you can either use that, do that through Bitmine, or you can do that through SBET. Okay. All right. So next ticker I have here is Apple. So Apple finally broke out from its consolidation period. And again, we are going to apply what we just learned a few minutes ago about consolidation, right? I love consolidations. Those are my favorites. Okay. So here, I'm going to take out the line. I'm going to take out the lines here to make it easy on the eye. I'm going to go to the weekly time frame. So here on the weekly time frame, we can see here that this is Apple, right? So Apple came all the way down to the 200 SMA. So on this day, I told members in our community to buy Apple, that Apple has never traded below the weekly time frame. Like the weekly candle has never closed below the 200 since the company was established, right? And it didn't do that during the sell-off, right? So it closed. So this is the weekly candle here. It closed above, it closed over here. So here we were buying Apple at this area, this lows, 168. And the Apple came. So Apple is one of the leading stocks in the Magnificent Seven, and it has struggled to gain momentum since the market sold off due to tariffs and Liberation Day. So if you can look at here, if you see here, you see that Apple has been consolidating. So exclude this candle. This candle is different. So here you can count. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So for 16 weeks, when you divide by 4, what do you get? 4 months. So for 4 months, Apple didn't do much, right? And then what do we get? In 1 week, we got this big breakout. Why did we get this breakout? So one, Trump has been saying that Apple needs to invest in the US. This has to start producing iPhones in the US, but that, from a business standpoint, was not practical. So what Apple did was Apple said, okay, we are committed to investing $600 billion into to produce factories in America, whereby they are going to use that to produce some of the parts for the iPhone. So the CEO of Apple went to the White House last week and announced this initiative, and that caused Apple to rally. Secondly, Apple's problem is that Apple is behind when it comes to AI. In the Magnificent Seven stocks, most of them are big into AI. Like Meta has a big AI team. Microsoft have partnered with OpenAI. Google have their own AI system in place, but Apple is the only one who don't have anything, right? So investors are yearning to hear something from Apple about AI. So initially they wanted to buy an AI company to help with their AI efforts, but they've not done so. But I believe that eventually Apple is going to get something in the AI field, whether they're going to collaborate with a company or work with them or buy them out, that's going to help. But based on purely technical analysis, I just wanted to show you guys what the power of consolidations, right? So this lasted for long, right? And then for 4 months, we are getting this big breakout. So Apple still has legs to rally because Apple has not participated in the big rally since Liberation Day, right? So over here, we go back to the daily chart and we can see, members of our day trading service, we smoked Apple here. We smoked Apple on Friday. This was one of my top trades for Friday. I told members that coming into the day at pre-market, the game plan was that if Apple is able to break and hold above the 200, this yellow line, we are going to go long. And then we are going to target, our first target was 225. And then once we get 225, we are going to get a breakout and we are going to get anything higher than that. So this really worked out well, beautifully on Friday. So those that in our day trading room, they killed it big time. So this, depending on the strike price that you got, this one went like so those that bought next week expiry, some of them made like 300%, 400% return. Those that bought same day expiry, they made even more, like thousands of percents, right? Yeah. So this is how you can capitalize on high probability setups and make profits from it. So going up this week here, I see Apple going up again. So one of the reasons why the Nasdaq closed higher than the S&P was that Apple started breaking out and Apple was strong, right? Because all throughout the whole Liberation Day tariffs rally has been Nvidia has been the one which is carrying the market on its shoulders, right? So Nvidia is now at all-time highs. So it has passed the torch to Apple. So Apple investors are now moving money, taking money from Nvidia and putting it into Apple because Apple hasn't rallied that much, right? So what they are doing is that they are using that to reallocate rotation to make more money here because Apple is way behind in terms of the rally, right? It's nowhere near all-time high. If you look at all-time high here, look at Apple all-time highs, right? Over here. Apple is at 259. If you stretch this down, you see that Apple is far, far away from all-time highs. Let's look at this. So Apple is somewhere here. Apple is far, far away from all-time highs. So, oops, stuff is, yeah. So Apple is way behind, right? So this is 229, this is 250 something. So it has about 30 points more to go to get to all-time high. So it's long ways away. So I believe that we are going to see more upside for Apple. So if Apple is able to break and hold above 231, we are going to see 235, 238, and 241 sometime soon this week or the weeks ahead, right? So Apple is one of the tickers that I'm going to be watching here for continuation, day two continuation in the rally. Okay. And another one that have been has been selling off after it got to all-time highs is Netflix. So Netflix was one of the mega cap stocks that hit all-time highs after the low of the year. That's the after the Liberation Day sell-off. That one of the stocks to get to all-time high first was Netflix. So in our swing trading service, we in the swing trading service that's a couple of months ago, in the month of which this was April, like early July, we shorted Netflix. Netflix came down, shorted this move here to the downside. So Netflix has gone all the way down. So in technical analysis, it's called a falling wedge pattern. And then we are seeing this rally here. So on Friday, we got a big move from Netflix. So here, what I'm looking to see is that I'm going to look to see if Netflix is able to hold above this 1216 level, then it has room to push up and go to the 50 SMA, and then from there it's going to push up to 1247 and 1276. So Netflix is also one of the stocks that I'm going to be watching this week for a day trade or even for a swing trade, right? So Netflix is looking good. Okay. Next stock that I'm looking at is there's this stock, this tech stock, AppLovin. So this is a heavily shorted stock, and I think they delivered good earnings, and it hits 450. So AppLovin still has room to push up to all-time highs, right? So AppLovin still has room to push to all-time highs. There's a lot of room for this to go. It's trading as 461. It did very well in their earnings and it's pushing up. So AppLovin has room to the upside. Okay. So those are the longs, and other longs that I'm looking at is so I have both longs and shorts. The next one I'm looking at is Baba. So Chinese stocks, Baba. So Baba is a stock that has been so Baba again. So this is a this also forming a wedge, right? This is a wedge pattern, triangle wedge pattern. Usually these triangle wedge patterns are usually neutral, right? It could do this, it could break out to the upside, or it could break down to the downside, right? So whichever way it goes, we can figure it out. But over here, I see Baba putting in what is called a bull flag. So this is your flagpole. This consolidation period is your flag. So if we're able to break above this trend line here, I see Baba can go from Baba hitting a target of 124 to 128. Right? So there's a gap fill here, a lot of gaps. So these Chinese stocks, Baba and Co, they are prone to gaps. So if you want to learn about gaps, if you are learning about technical analysis and you want to learn about gaps, you should use Baba as an example. So you see all the gaps everywhere. There's a gap, right? So this has room to push. And typically, for some reason, Chinese stocks, when the market is weak or market starts selling off, Chinese stocks do well. So we shall see. So if maybe we get some kind of market sell-off this week in the SPY or the QQQ, I'll not be surprised to see Baba rally. So Baba is setting up for a bull flag here this week. If we crack above this trend line here, Baba is going to go. Let's see here. This is the level. This level I'm looking at here. This is 122. If it's able to crack through it, it's off to the races. It's going to go, and we can target 130, 132 area. Okay. Next one on my radar, which has been going through a lot after earnings disaster, is they missed on, I believe, Coinbase missed on revenue or something like that. So investors were not happy with that, and it caused this stock to sell. So it put in a head and shoulders pattern. Yeah. So this is your head, this is your left shoulder, this was your right shoulder, and then what did you do? It sold off, right? So here, this was your neckline, this area here. This was your neckline. So once you have the neckline, right, this neckline area somewhere here, you can't even do here somewhere here. So neckline here, and here we got this move to the downside. So here the measured move was like was this. The measured move was somewhere here. The measured move, if you put it here, we have reached that target, right? So the measured move reached that target. So now I expect this stock to start reversing now, and it's holding this trend line. So there's a trend line here. This is a weekly trend line. This trend line here has held, and I believe that this trend line is going to act as a support now. So basically, we got the breakout here. So it's back to what I call back to the scene of the crime, right? So the crime was to break out of this trend line. So it came back down, back to the scene of the crime, right? It's like it was running away and then they pulled it back, come back to where he started, right? So it's back here. And now what he's doing now is that it's holding this. So expect Coinbase to start reversing this week. Now that Ethereum and things are rallying and Bitcoin looking to break out, I expect this to, so it's bottoming here. I expect this to push up this week. So Coinbase, I'm looking for longs. As long as we don't break below this trend line here, I'm looking for longs to the upside, and we're going to see if we can fill this gap in the weeks and days ahead. Okay. So when it comes to shorts, these are ones that I'm looking for shorts. So one of the shorts setups I'm looking at this week is Uber. Uber. So Uber has been trading. I believe after earnings, it started selling. So Uber also has this pattern here. So if you look at this, this is your left, this is your head, this is your left shoulder, This is your right shoulder here. So this is your head and shoulders pattern. Okay. So and then if you look at this is a weekly level, weekly trend line. Price has held this trend line for the longest time. So if you look at this, it held this area, it came here and it bounced here and it bounced there. So I believe that we are going to hold this. So if this trend line holds, this is going to push, but I believe that this is going to come all the way here. If we break below, so tomorrow, if Uber is trading below the 50, we are going to look to short this, targeting this trend line. And then if we break below this trend line, all hell will break loose. We are going to come to this area, which is the 100 SMA on the daily, right? So that's what I'm looking at in terms of for Uber, right? So that's what I'm looking for Uber. So Uber still has some downside before it can retrace. So Uber, I'm looking for due to this head and shoulders, I'm looking for a short or puts to the downside. Okay. The cybersecurity sector has been going through some kind of sell-off, right? So all the cybersecurity names, I'll start with CrowdStrike. I believe that they are getting ready for a reversal, or maybe they still have some downside. It doesn't really matter, but just keep an eye on the cybersecurity space because they've been selling. So let's look at this one, CrowdStrike. So if you look at CrowdStrike has been selling, right? So again, you put in a head and shoulder. So this is your head, this is your left shoulder, this is your right shoulder. It came all the way down here. And now it's at this area here, right? I believe that it still has more downside. So I'll be a buyer of CrowdStrike at the 100 SMA here, around 400. So if it comes for around 400, no hesitation, I'm going to look to buy CrowdStrike longs, and I'm going to buy some time on it, and I'll expect this to rally again. If you're an investor and you believe in technology, you have to have cybersecurity stocks in your portfolio because everything that we do in technology with AI, with apps and everything, we need cybersecurity, right? Because without that, you are going to get into hackers are going to hack into those software and apps. So cybersecurity stocks are going to be ubiquitous and they are going to be needed, ever present in any tech portfolio. So you want to have them in your portfolio. So if you don't want the individual stocks, you can get the ETF. The ETF is called Hack, just like somebody hacking into a computer hack, right? Is the cybersecurity. So you see a ETF Prime Cybersecurity ETF. So in this ETF, you have like stocks like CrowdStrike, Palo Alto Network, and all that goes, all those cybersecurity stocks in a basket of stocks. So here you have this called the ETF, so you can get the hack, or you can just focus on the individual stock. So I like CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is a really influential cybersecurity company. Last summer, they had some updates to their software and it caused disruptions at the airport and stuff. So it tells you how powerful this company is. So here I see more downside. So this here is a bear flag, right? I see more downside for CrowdStrike. At least we can get this to come. There's a little not offer here, but at least the 200, right? It could even come all the way down here and fill this gap. You never know, right? So, but CrowdStrike is one of the stocks that I'm going to look to short this week if the opportunity presents itself. So below 420, I'm going to, or 424 here, I'm going to look to short this, targeting the yellow line, right? First of all, we want to target 404 and then 400. At 400, I'm going to look to get off and I'm going to look to reverse the trade and look to go long on this because here we are going to definitely see a bounce, right? Because this has held the 200 in the longest time, okay? Or it can go below it as well. It could go below it, and then if it does, it's going to come and fill the gap here, okay? So CrowdStrike. Another cybersecurity stock on my radar is Zscaler. Zscaler, 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 Zscaler. Um, Zscaler is also a tech stock. So here, this one too has been selling, right? This looks like what is called a chair formation. This is like a chair, right? It's sitting on a chair and then boom. So here, this a classic technical analysis thing called a bear flag. So this is your flag pole. This is your flag, like a 90-degree angle. And then once we broke below that consolidation, the base consolidation, boom, we just went down, right? And here, this still has room. We are going to come somewhere here. At least once it comes here, maybe it's going to catch a bit, but at least I expect this to come to the 100 SMA over here, right? That's where I think that this is going to look to bounce, and it's going to bounce from there. So Z-scaler, I still have shorts, shorting this to the downside, and we shall see how it works out if it catches a bit here at the 100. The next one is Palo Alto Network. That's the leading cybersecurity company in the US. Palo Alto Network. Yeah. Palo Alto Network. So here, this one even looks nasty, right? This has sold off a lot. But interestingly, this is looking to form something interesting. So here, if you look at this, Palo Alto Network. So it came here. So this level has been a level of, so if you look at this, I like pattern recognition, right? So here, the last time price came here, we got a bounce, it went up. The last time price came here, what did we do? We went up, right? So here, if price has come here, what do you think it's going to do? It's going to do the same thing, right? So I believe that this is going to bounce here, right? Or if it doesn't bounce, it might just come here. It might just do one more sell. It's going to come here, this place, and then it's going to bounce here. So Palo Alto Network is a good one to watch, and it's one that you can buy for. You can even have it in your long-term portfolio, because this big sell-off here is something that is going to go back high again. So this, how many points sell-off? This is, you look left, this is it's almost like 20% sell-off. Yeah, 20% sell-off. So this is a huge sell-off, right? So this is putting in what looks like an inverse head and shoulders here, right? If this bounces, if this holds, this is going to be an inverse head and shoulders. So inverse head and shoulders is a bullish reversal pattern. So this, it can do this, right? Inverse head and shoulders. The same thing that happened here can also happen here, right? So that's Palo Alto Network. Okay, Palo Alto Network. Okay. So now I'm going to go to small caps, right? I'm going to look at small caps, what small cap stocks are setting up well, and then we are going to wrap up very soon. So now that we've covered all these mega cap stocks, now let's check out the small caps, which are listed in the Russell 2000. So one of the ones that we've been trading, we've been swinging and day trading and doing like a lot is Weibo. So those that use Weibo trading a broker app, this is the stock, Bull. So we've captured all the major moves on this stock, right? Like here, this move here, we captured it in our swing trading service, right? And now we are looking to this looking to push again, break out again. So for Bull, what I look at is that, let me take out the lines to make it easy on the eye. So here, if you look at Bull is looking to form this kind of cap and handle pattern. So this is your cap here. This is your handle developing, and it's looking for a breakout. Okay, so let me put back the lines. And if you look at this, we are at a key critical level. So here we have this trend line here. So this trend line here is the high of April 22nd to this one here. This is July 24th. So if you extend it, it comes all the way here and it touches this. So this is a critical level. So if we're able to break above 1575 sometime this week, 1575, then we are going to rally. This is going to break out and we are going to go higher, right? We can go to 1637 and then on and on and on. We can even come all the way here, right? So this stock is one of the small caps that I'm going to be watching for a long, if the long sets up. But If this fails, then it's going to come back down. But this is forming, this looks like a bull flag here, and I expect it to push up above this level. It's going to go. Okay, so another one that I'm looking at is which actually broke out last week was, I missed this one, was Soundhound. But it still has legs, it still has room to go. It still has more room to go. Okay. So it still has more room to go. Oh, oops, I got it wrong. Listen, Soundhound, more room to go. Soundhound, sound. So this is sound here. And we have this move here, this breakout here. So this happened last week. And if you go to the weekly chart, we can clearly see that this here is looking to break out. So this is a bullish engulfing candle, which has engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of action, right? Anytime you have a bullish engulfing candle like this, like in our courses, like we talk about the bullish engulfing candle, we have different types. We have, this is the mother of them all. This is called the clearing bullish engulfing candle. Anytime you have a bullish engulfing candle that engulfs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, we almost always get a 90% follow through to the upside. So I believe that Soundhound, if is able to hold above this level, this high, this close of 1360 here, I believe Soundhound is going to go and break out and go, right? We are going to get more green candles to the upside. This is the weekly. So if I go back to the daily, unfortunately, it has a lot of gaps here from this big gap up. I believe maybe he had some good earnings or some kind of news that sent it up. If he's able to trade above this 1360, it's going to go to 1423 and then go up from there. Okay. Yeah. So that's one of the stocks that I'm watching as well. And then another one that I'm going to be watching is I'm going to be watching um I'm, I'm going to be watching another stock that I'm going to be watching is let me see here. What's the name of this stock again? Just one sec, let me pull it. Another stock that I'm going to be watching again is Lemonade. Yeah, Lemonade is setting up really nicely. LMND, Lemonade. LMMD, Lemonade, right? Lemonade here. So Lemonade is looking ready for a big breakout, right? So here, if you go to the weekly charts, so this is your weekly time frame, we have same pattern that we've been talking about today. This is your cup. This is a big cup. This is your handle. And then we saw this breakout like this weekly candle last time. Again, this is a clearing bullish engulfing candle. If this is able to break and hold above $49, let's make it easy, break above $50. Lemonade has legs to rally and go, right? Because this trend line here is a trend line from this 2021 trend line, right? So this is a multi-year trend line. Anytime you break a multi-year trend line in a weekly time frame, it leads to what I call a weekly squeeze, right? And this has legs. This can do a big move. So I'm watching Lemonade closely this week for a big breakout if it's able to break above these levels, like this 53 level here. 50, 53 is going to go, right? It's going to go up because this has been an area where the last time price came here, this 53 level, price sold off, right? It sold off and came all the way down here and then did this, right? Sold off and came all the way down here. So Lemonade is a stock that I'm going to be watching closely this week here as whereby if this breakout happens, this is going to be nice. If we can get a big green candle like this trading options, that's going to be fantastic. Okay. Yeah. And another one that I'm going to be watching is I think I've covered everything. Let's see here. Another one that I'm going to be watching is this a biotech stock. This is a very like tiny, this is like a penny stock kind of thing. I don't usually trade penny stocks, but I just like the setup. It looks nice, right? So I go by setups. If a setup is there, I go ahead and execute on it. So Alec. So Alec here, this is a weekly chart. And over here, I see what looks like an inverted and shoulder. So you have your left shoulder, this is your head, this is your right shoulder, and then we have this bullish engulfing candle here, which is engulfing all these days of action after several weeks of consolidation. So I expect this to break. And then if this is to break above this red line, it has a lot of room here, right? This is an imbalance, right? So this is a price imbalance because of the red. We are going to get this to push, right? So if I go here, I go to my, just to show you guys, I'll go to the Alec. Let me go to all. To all here. So if you are watching this live stream and if not subscribed to the channel, please do, so that and also share the link with your friends and family as well. So here we have Alec. Um uh Please subscribe and then hit the notification button so that anytime we go live, I go live, you're going to get a notification. So over here we have, if you look at this, I just want to guys show you guys something. So here, this causes, so this is the weekly chart for this stock. So here, that's what I'm looking for. Looking for something else. Let me take this out. Delete the drawing. Okay. So I'm going to try this again. Okay. So here, look at this closely, right? This is, so you see the red candles from Alec that we saw? This is causing a price imbalance, right? So once this starts moving, so you see here, it's moving here, it's moving to come and fill this price imbalance. You see this gap here? It's going to come and fill this. And then once it crosses here, above this level, which is I call the volume shelf, it's going to come here and fill this price imbalance. So here you have a lot of red, so it's going to fill this imbalance. So that's this moves very fast. Like price will move very fast to fill that imbalance, and then this has room to come all the way here. You see this $3, right? And then that fills this gap, right? This price imbalance gap. So that's something that you guys can look at. I mean, this I just saw this whilst I was going through my scanning tool, and I saw that okay, this looks nice, but I don't really trade this kind of stocks, but the setup looks nice. And I see these biotech stocks rallying in the days and weeks ahead here, right? So yeah, so this week we had in the swing trading service, we had a fantastic trading week. Some of the tickets that we traded were, one of them was, I'll show you guys. One of our top tickets was Walmart. Walmart, right? Walmart. We all know Walmart. Everybody knows Walmart, right? Walmart, the grocery store. So Walmart was going to the week last week on Sunday. I told subscribers that one of our main, so for our swing trading service, this is our swing trading service. I'll show you guys the swing trading service. So if you have a busy 9 to 5 and you want a way where you can multiply your money on a weekly basis, like, multiply your money on a weekly basis and get passive income, this is where to come. So this is the weekly alert service. So this weekly alert service here, what it does is that we on Sundays, I post my top 3 tickets for the week, right? And those 3 tickets are tickets that I have done a lot of extensive research on, and I have high conviction that those stocks or ETFs are either going to rally or they are going to sell off. So if it's rallying, we are going to buy call options. If it's selling off, we are going to buy put options on them. So in this service, what is included is up to 3 expertly crafted alerts a week. And then you have instant access to our swing trading course. And then you have like real-time notification. So I give you the trade plan in advance. And then once the trade triggers, I let you know. And then once I use my money to buy, I let you know that I bought it. And you already know what the trade plan is. You just execute on it, right? So even if you are working 9 to 5 and you are busy, you are going to get a notification on your phone and you can just quickly log in and then take the trade, right? So it's a swing trade. So you hold it for a couple of days. Sometimes you hold it for weeks or several days, right? So the service is $47 per month, USD per month. And this gives you, so every week I provide my top 3 tickers. One of our tickers for this week was, one of the top tickers was Walmart. So Walmart, we bought the $100 calls expiring on August 15th. And that's one that was alerted to members on Monday. So on Monday, this Monday here, by this Monday, April 5th. By Wednesday, this Walmart had gone to. So this some of the returns here. So this is the trade. So this was the trade here. So by Wednesday, our investment had returned 267%, right? And just holding something for 2 days, we made that returns. Okay. And if you check Walmart by Friday, so we sold the last runners because we were targeting all-time high. It came very close to all-time highs at 105. So on Friday, that same Walmart trade, the contracts closed at it closed really high. The contracts closed out. So if you look at this, so this was expiry, and that was we are looking for the $100 calls. So the highs closed at $4, right? So I took some profit off the table. We sold some profits, took some profit off the table when this hit 375 and it went all the way up to. So by Wednesday we had hit 375. By Friday it was $4. So extra gains. And also we still had 1 week left. We still have 1 week left, right, for this. But I told members, hey guys, we already at all-time highs. We have when we are going into a trade, we have a trade plan. We stick to the trade plan and we execute, right? So, and the next ticker of the week was TQQQ, right? So going to the week, we had a trade plan where we were looking to either go long on the QQQ or go short on it, depending on which one triggers first, right? So TQQQ is a triple leverage ETF of the QQQ, right? So anytime the QQQ goes up by 1%, this goes up by 3%, right? So the trade was to trade the $90 calls for TQQQ expiring August 15th. So that trade by Wednesday, that trade had already gone to here. By Wednesday, it had already gone to 84%, right? And then by Friday here, it had already gone to, so this had already hit all-time highs. And the contracts went to, so we saw the runners here on Friday. So the contracts went to $3.55, right? And there's still more time for this to work out. But again, we got our good gains and we sold it off, right? And then there were other tickers. There was also Tesla. Tesla also worked out. We had Tesla as one of the top tickers for the week, last week, for our swing trading service. So we had Tesla 315 calls. That one too printed nicely. And members made 200, 300%, depending on their strike. So here we got the Tesla 315 calls. Look at where Tesla is trading, 330, right? So this year broke out and the return on investment was 250%, right? So if you're looking to you know, make some money from the market passively on a weekly basis, this is the service for you, right? So you are going to get expert help here, where I'm going to give you the trade plan in advance, and then once it triggers, I also go ahead and also let you know what the trade is. So if I take it with my money, I let you know that, hey, I've taken the trade with my money. Again, it's not financial advice, right? But I let you know that, hey, I've taken it, this is the price, and this is where it is, right? So that is the key, right? That's the key to the trade. So here, this service here, I mean, this is the only service that gives you 30-day money back guarantee, because we believe in the service that we offer. And most members, after first trade that they take, they make like their yearly subscription. So here, the yearly subscription is only $470, right? You only have to pay for 10 months. You don't have to pay for the last 2 months, right? So this year is your high. If you want to make money from the markets on a weekly basis without any stress and that kind of thing, this is the service for you. So I'm going to put the link here in the YouTube chat. And then you guys, like anybody that is interested, they can go ahead and sign up. And I've already put in, posted my top tickets for the week. These tickets are going to explode by Monday. So by Monday, this could be off to the races, right? And some of these trades by midweek we are done, right? By midweek we already made our money, and we just like leave some runners and walk away, right? So that's what. So if you're looking for something that's going to be where you can make money on a consistent basis every week, then this thing for you. This is the service for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link here in the chat, and then those that are interested can always sign up. So this is it here. Or what you can do is that an easy way to find this is it's easy to find it. So our website is tradingrich.com, right? So you go to tradingrich.com, you click on courses, right? You click on courses here, and then you click on weekly alert service, right? So if you want to do a swing trading service, we buy and hold for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and then we make money from it, right? Also, if you are the type that you say, you know what, I want to go take an extra step. I want to so I posted the link of the weekly service here, by the way. I want to take it up a notch, I want to day trade as well. We also have a day trading service. So most of the members of swing trading also double into the day trading as well. So the day trading service is a service that we only trade 1 hour a day, right? We only trade 1 hour a day. Okay, 1 hour a day. Okay. So that 1 hour a day, what we do is that we focus on our strategy. So at Trading Rich, we have our strategy that we trade, right? Which is very, very effective, and it has a very high win rate, right? Members of the day trading service, they can tell you every single day we are pulling money from the market. Usually within the first 30 minutes, we are done for the day, kind of thing, right? Within the first 30 minutes, we are done for the day. So I'll show you how this service works. So this service here is we trade 5 days a week, and we focus on the first hour because that's where the high volume is, high probability. We want to get in, out, we make our money, walk away, right? We are not here to overtrade. In the stock market, it's just like going to a potluck or going to a party. If they cut the cake, they don't give you all the entire cake to eat. They give you your share, they give you a piece, right? So once we get our piece of the national cake, what I call the national cake or national pie, we walk away, right? And come again the following day to trade again. So over here, you can see that we trade both options and futures. So depending on what you're interested in, we trade both options and futures. And so we start the live day trading session. We start at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. That is where I provide the game plan for both the option and futures traders. And before the market opens, everybody knows what to do already. So once the market opens, all what we do is to execute on the trade plan, make money from the pull money from the market, hit our profit target, and we are done, right? No greed, no over trading, right? So last Friday, I'll not even go far away, right? The entire week has been green for members. Entire week of last week was green. The entire month has been green, right? So last Friday, just on Friday, I'll just show you some of the trades that we took. So on Friday, going into Friday, one of our game plans or the trades that we are looking at for Friday was one of the trades was Apple. So going into Friday at pre-market, I told members that Apple was one of my main watch for the day. Okay. So Apple, I told members that if Apple holds above the 200, we are going to look to go long. We are going to get either 225 calls or 222.50 calls, and then we were able to capture this trade here. This was a monster move, right? Members made 300, 400%. Those that traded zero DT, some of them made as high as 1,000% on this, right? And this was outstanding. So if you look at the option chain now, you can even see some of the gains, right? Like from the ones expiring this week. So over here, look at that, guys. Look at that. So if you bought the 25 calls, you made 270%. And if you bought this, you made 221%, right? So these were trades that we took on Friday. Another one that we took as well, like I took I gave the trade plans everything. We took BNR, BMNR. So we were focusing on three tickets, and I told members to pick which one they wanted, right? So you can pick and choose which one you want. Everybody has different accounts, so you can pick and choose what works for you. So here, this trade here, we captured the move here, and we were targeting the $45 calls on that day. So the $45 calls, look at this. This was even the ones that was expiring this week, okay? This Friday. So look at that. This was 359%. So this is equivalent to you put in $1,000 in an investment, you made $3,000 and more profit, right? 3x, 3.5x return on investment, right? And I personally focused on Tesla because this BNR, I had a swing trade on it. I bought the $40 course on this, so I had a swing trade. I still have the swing trade on this, so this is still running here, and I believe that this stock is going to open up at $60 or so this week here. We shall see. So here we have the next one that we traded as well was Tesla. So Tesla is one of my favorite stocks. So anybody that has gone through our course and boot camp and stuff, you know that I really like Tesla, right? So Tesla is a double-edged sword. So it has two names. It has one of the names is Stressler. It can stress you out. Another name is Blessler. It can bless you as well, right? So it's a double-edged sword. Some days it can act crazy. Some days it can act well. So um, on this day, going into the day, I told members that we were looking to trade Tesla 330 calls, right? And we got that move. So I'll explain the trade plan that we had here and how it worked out, and I'll show you the percentage gains. It's just outstanding, and it was just nuts. Like within 30 minutes, we were just done. We're done with this, right? All of them within first 30 minutes, maximum 1 hour, we were done, right? So here, this was the trade for Tesla, right? In the trade plan, right? This year was what is called pre-market high, right? Pre-market high. So at pre-market, I had already told members that, guys, this year, if we break above this pre-market high, we are going to look to go long. Okay. We are going to look to go long. We are going to get 330 calls for those that have the account to buy have like a big account to buy Tesla, and those that could not afford Tesla, they could buy the leverage ETF, which is TSLL, right? Because TSLL will give you 2 times leverage, right? So if Tesla moves up by 1%, that one moves up by 2%. So over here, we had this trade here, and this was the pre-market low. So I told members that as long as we hold pre-market low and we break above pre-market high, this Tesla here will break out and squeeze, right? So the first candle, I even mentioned to in the trade plan, I said, first candle, if we get a bullish engulfing candle, this is a bullish engulfing candle, we are going to wait and then we're going to get a pullback. So we got a pullback. So that pullback formed what is called a bull flag, right? There's a bull flag. So here, there's a flag, right? There's a flag here. And then so this is your flag, right? So this is your flag here. And then we broke out of the flag. Yeah. So immediately we broke out of the flag, we entered the trade. So I mean, again, I took a startup position here once this broke this pre-market high, and then I put my stop here. My stop is here. And then once it did this, I added to my position and then we rolled it up. So this came all the way to our target, which was 330. We peeled off some profit, left some runners, and it went up to this area. And then it stalled out at 334.98, approximately 335, right? So for this trade, I mean, I took different strikes here. So one of them was, this was my trade from Friday, Tesla, 500% return, right? So you put in $1,000, you made $5,000 return, just like that, right? And this was another trade that we took midweek, I believe it was Tuesday or so. This was AM Diesel. This was no, this was Thursday, right? AMD rallied and we captured this trade. It was a 1,000% return trade. Okay. So yeah, so these are, so if you are interested in day trading with us on a daily basis, so you can make money on a daily basis from day trading, and you can compound your gains with the swing trading on a weekly basis and build your wealth from there, right? So these are two services that if you want to make money, pull money from the market, you want to join these services. So I'm going to post the other link here, and anybody that is interested, they could always sign up, and it's easy to find. You just go to our main site, tradingrich.com, and then you can check out the courses, click on courses, and you click on live day trading. So this is both options and futures. So if you're a futures trader and you want to pass your prop firm challenge, or you want to trade futures, this is the like service for you. So I'm going to post it here, and then we are going to wrap up here right away. So feel free to post your questions in the chat, and let me know if you have any questions. Here, if you have any questions, feel free to post the questions in the chat, in the YouTube chat there. While I set for this link, I try to post this link here. Just one sec. This is YouTube Live. So I'm going to post the link here shortly in the chat. Just one sec. So feel free to ask any questions. If you have any questions, post the questions there, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. And then we can wrap up. So I can't wait for the market to open tomorrow. Can't wait for the market to open tomorrow. Where is the... Wait for the market to open. Oh, where's the chat? You guys, let me know if you have any questions here. I'll post it here in the chat here in the chat here. Let me post this. Where is the link again? Just trying to do it using my this is a day trading service here. Click on it. And then there you go. Okay, guys. So let me know if there are any questions. Let me see the chat if there's any questions here. I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any questions so far. No questions. Okay. So yeah, so going once, going twice. Are there any questions? If there are no questions, then what I would do is I would wrap up here. And yeah, so have a great week, guys. I wish you guys all the best. So those that are trading with us, the day trading and swing trading service, we shall meet tomorrow and day trade together. Okay. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye for now. Bye-bye.